during Christmas, we should all learn to love, give, and to be caring people. Or you could play this really horrendous game, because you know what? Why not? Just why not? Whenever it's sometime around Christmas, on TV, usually on Freeform, I can always see the Santa Claus movies being played, starring Tim Allen. I didn't particularly like or hate these movies. They were fine, but even as a little kid, I realized that the premise was kinda stupid. Some guy kills Santa Claus, so he becomes the new Santa Claus because of a Santa Claus. But overall, I don't really hate the movies. I've watched them and they're pretty serviceable. At least they don't copy the same plot over and over again, which I could say about a few other movies. But for some reason, when the third one was starting to come out in 2007, they really upped the ante with a ton of advertising all over the place, really building this up. It's funny because the advertising would make you think that this is an actual wrestling fight that people have been waiting a long time for. Santa Claus versus Jack Frost, motto, Christmas icon versus Christmas icon. It was really built up as some big event, but really flopped at the box office. I'm talking they had games, they had toys, they had the whole shebang. And one of these games was Santa Claus 3 Jingle Brawl. Oh boy. Now I have covered some Flash fighting games in the past, but this one is obviously just meant as an advertising ploy. There is little to no gameplay here, but you know what? I like to review these games, so why not? Let's just do it. But first, let's have some background knowledge. The Santa Claus 3, The Escape Clause, is a 2079 action horror film directed by Michael Bay and Quentin Tarantino. It stars Woody Harrelson as Bob Snyder, and I can't keep this serious. Santa Claus 3 came out in 2007 and stars Tim Allen. Overall, it's a pretty serviceable film and nothing too special about it. It has a very basic plot about not appreciating who you are and all of that, and at the end of it, he learns a lesson, I guess? Awkward writing, really weird, and overall, not really my favorite movie. You really don't need to know much about the movie because the game doesn't really follow it. The same with the Game Boy Advance game. Actually, it's kind of funny. None of the games really actually follow the movie at all, almost like they were trying to hide the plot. It's a little funny looking back. I'm not sure why Disney thought making a Flash fighting game titled Jingle Bell Brawl the main event was going to boost sales at all. Like I said, really we're trying to pitch this up as a big fight, but guess what? There isn't even a fight in the movie. Yeah, Santa Claus never actually fights Jack Frost despite all of the advertising and games having him fight Jack Frost. It's actually kind of ironic that it has all of these games where you fight, yet there's actually more fighting in the Santa Claus 2. I don't like the Santa Claus 2. Either way, let's just get into this gameplay. I do have to say, one thing that I can give this game credit for is the creativity of how they made this fighting game. Basically, Santa and Jack Frost are rock'em sock'em robots. It fits with Christmas, and overall, it's a pretty cute idea. Pretty novel, but really that's all it is. Novel. In practice, it just really looks dumb. And kind of creepy. These little toys kind of look creepy. I don't know. You only have two playable characters, that being Santa on the left and Jack Frost on the right. And there is a minute difference between them, and we'll get into that very soon. You use the keyboard to play the left and right arrow keys to move around, and A and D in order to punch. After fooling around on the game a little bit, I found out that if you just time it right and spam your punches as Santa, you can nick Jack Frost on the nose every single time and not take a lick of damage. It's really dumb game design, but you know what? Like I said, this is just a Flash game. Still really funny though. As for playing Jack Frost, the best strategy that you honestly have is just to time your punches and try and get close, because you don't have a nose that's long like Jack Frost has, so you kind of gotta get close in order to attack Santa. After you win the match as whoever you're playing as, you have the option to use a special finishing move in order to basically finish them. Santa's is him wrapping up Jack Frost like a present, and Jack Frost is him freezing him like he does in the movies with his weird cold breath stuff. If you end up losing, the other character will instantly finish you and say you were knocked out of the season, which you really don't want to be. I think there is no penalty for getting knocked out of the season. You can just retry as many times as you want. If you try and click on send to a friend, it'll just take you to Microsoft Outlook because this is an old game. Obviously, these links don't really work anymore, and this was archived. But still, you can try it and see what happens. I'm not gonna tamper with that because I don't want to potentially risk my PC getting destroyed. But yeah, that's basically what happens. There really isn't any music to speak of, and it's all ambient noises, basic punching sounds, as you could probably hear in the background. So overall, sound design, not really that good. Again, it's a Flash fighting game, but you could probably put a bit more, like maybe the soundtrack of the Santa Claus 3 or something like that, but I'm gonna take a guess and say they had no idea what this movie was like. They were just said, hey, turn Tim Allen and his friend into a fighting game. And they were like, okay, and then they made this, and that's how they promoted the movie. I will give them credit, both of the characters do have minute little differences between them. Like I said, with Santa, you can nick Jack Frost on the nose many times, and with Jack, you gotta kind of get in close and all of that. And I will appreciate them for actually giving both characters a different type of finisher, because, you know, that still is a lot of work to do for just like one character. Though don't call it a finishing combo, don't give me hope, don't do that, don't give me hope. I've tried out a lot of different takes on how you can make a Flash fighting game, and overall, this one is at least creative with how it works. There's no multiplayer, so obviously there's no life for this game, as there shouldn't be. If there was multiplayer, that means that I could actually host a tournament for the Santa Claus 3's fighting game. That would be hilarious, but thank goodness it does not actually have that, which means I actually don't need to go and do that. Thank dear goodness. Overall, the game really isn't bad. It's just kind of a fun time waster that you can go and play if you're curious and all that. This is the only Santa Claus 3 Flash game, so if you want your injection of Tim Allen, you can go and play this game for free through Flashpoint. By the way, I'm recording this through Flashpoint, obviously, because there's no way that this game would still be around today. This is a really old game, like nearly 14-year-old game. There's no way that it would be around today on Disney's websites. So you can just go and play through the link below. But overall, I will appreciate that this game tried something new and creative with a visual style. My expectations are low for Flash fighting games, but overall, I'm gonna give this one a pretty solid 6 out of 10. There really isn't a lot here, and there isn't a lot of combat either. It's just a fun time waster, but it looks pretty, and compared to many of the other Flash fighting games I've seen, this one at least tries to put a good step forward and try something kind of different. And it's really fun to play during the season, so that's always cute. Is it anything special or competitive? No, but it's a fun time waster. Spend like, I don't know, 10 minutes on it, and that's really it. You don't need to spend any more time on this. It's just a cute little game that's meant to promote a movie. Overall, I think it's pretty fun. Go ahead and check it out if you want. I know that this title is kind of clickbaity. Oh, the Santa Claus fighting game you've never heard of. Yeah, well, I doubt many people have heard of this. Have you heard of this? Actually, you know what? Leave a comment below if you've heard of this game or if you played it when the Santa Claus 3 came out. Thanks so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. Make sure to go and watch a fun Christmas movie with your family during this beautiful holiday. Thank you all so much again for watching. I'll see you all later. Bye-bye.